our next destination that we're going to be looking at is this one. Up to now, when we have been looking at Bates Visual Guide and also at the Ackland Video Atlas and Visual DX, we have been looking at material that can be used for education, and particularly for the education of medical students of various sorts. Here, what we can see is we can see the access into the LWW Health Library. This is our next area that we're going to examine. When we think about this area here, what we can think about is that this is a set of materials which are gathered together for medical education. And the collection that I'm looking at now is I'm looking at the International Premium Basic Sciences collection. This is a set of books that is gathered together to make materials which can be used in courses and instruction for doctors and for medical students. If I look at the page here, what you can notice is that up at the top, it says texts, and down at the bottom, it also says texts. These are the books which are a part of this material. Up at the top of the page as well, it says video and audio, and here as well. So the tags that you see are also across the bottom of the screen as well. Let me take you into this content and show you the content of this collection that we see here. I'm going to click here and look at all of the textbook and reference books that are a part of this collection. On the side here, you can see the different subjects which are included in this collection. So first of all, we can see anatomy, for example, and then the others looking down through this area here. So each of these is a list of subjects that we see through the page in this direction. If I see a book that I'm interested in, what I can do is I can choose its name or its cover, and it will take me into that book and take me into that individual item. So imagine that this is like walking by a bookshelf and picking down a book and opening it up. Inside the book, we see all of the chapters and sections. I can choose a chapter, just like I can open up any other electronic book. And then what we see on this side of the page is we can see all of the things which are inside that chapter. If I click onto one of those sections, it takes me to that section. So we can navigate very easily up and down in this material. If I look through the content here, you can see that this is the same as a book. But what we have inside this book is we have something that's called Read Speaker. What it will do is it will actually read the book to you. So if you're using this book and you're reading from the book, you and to the words as they're introduced to you. One of the things that we can know is that when we look and when we listen, And when we use all of our senses, then this really helps us to learn. So this is a really useful feature that we see here. As a part of these books as well, you can see that it's not just the texts, there's also the pictures and the tables and charts, which are a part of this content as well. We can capture and download all the pictures very, very easily if we wish. Looking at that book then, I can also open up the book so that I can see it full screen. You can see it all the way across the screen, which makes it much easier to read. On the page as well is here is a way of searching inside this material. So you can see here that you can search for that particular subject. And what you can see is you can see it as a part of the text, but also whether there are any images or videos which are part of this content as well. All of these materials come from the books that are a part of the content. So I can search inside just this one book, or I can search across everything. And we could explore our subject more completely. So across the screen, as we see it here, you can see all of those different results. And if I wanted to go into the book and into that particular section, I can just choose the link and it will take me to that particular part. I can open up these individual items and I can download them if I wish. What we can do then is we can use the books that we find here. We can search inside them. We can open them up and open the chapters and sections. We can move through them by subject from the side of the screen. We can access them in many different ways. Associated with those books, there are also multimedia files. So videos, images, audio files may be a part of this content. If I open up the menu here, you can see the video and audio files, and we can also look at them by subject. So we can see, for example, some videos that are a part of this content. These are attached to the books that we were looking at. Maybe originally they were on a DVD or on a CD-ROM or attached to a URL that was a part of that book. Here we're seeing it all electronic. Attached to each of those videos, then, you can see the book where it came from. So those items join together in this particular area. If I open up one of those videos, you can see it here. Here it is. And up at the top of the page, this is the link that I could use to come back to this video. So you always have a connection. You always have a link if that's something that you need to have. What we find is that in general, if students have an easy way to get into the material, the more often they will use it and the more often they will find it helpful. So access is a really important point with all of these products. What we've thought about is we've thought about the books themselves. Here they are. We've thought about the things that are attached to them. And these are the students' things. These are the things that the students can see. They can also see examples of journals. And often these are about projects and tasks that they can do, about appraisal and assessment. You can see example cases that are a part of this material. And these are example cases from some of the books that we see. All of this material that you see here faces the student. But there is also other material that is a part of these books that is faculty and instructor material. I'm looking at it now from the student's point of view. You also have material which is for the faculty, which is for the instructors and for tutors. To be able to access that, we need to have an email address from you that gives access to that instructor material, because we will make an account inside of the health library, and then you sign in and then you see that instructor material. The instructor material is really, really good. It's PowerPoints, it's video, it's quiz questions. There's a lot of content inside, lesson plans. And what it means is that the instructors don't have to do so much work. They can actually use these ready-made materials which are attached to these books. But we don't want the students to see it, so we don't make it available through this display. We have, though, the opportunity to see the administrator resources. This is the material that you can use as administrators, and everyone can see this. And we were looking at medical education. We were looking at premium basic sciences, international premium basic sciences. This is where we can see the lists of books which are a part of this content and the ways that you can link into them. There are also promotional materials, and up at the top of this page, you can also see there are guides and other materials that you can include into your own content inside your web page if you wish to do so. So lots of materials here for promotion, for to make it able for people to discover the content that we see through here. On the page as well, we have the help, which is behind that button there, or also at the bottom of this page behind the items here on the screen. When we are using these health libraries, you're able to explore, you're able to search, but you're always able to also link into this content in a very active way.